Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest and most influential startup event in the region, PODIM. Prepare yourself for the most awesome 2 days of knowledge, networking, and energy. And now, please welcome an international star, half Irish, half German, coming from Austria, our beloved host, Mr. Daniel Cronin.
Thank you very much for those choice words. No pressure on me. International star. I haven't heard that one. I'm liking that. That's good. Are you well, PODIM? Yes? So the front part is really well, the middle part is mugh, and the back is no opinion. PODIM, are you well? Yeah. 6 out of 10. That's okay. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. So first of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm Daniel. I'd like to introduce one simple rule. I'm a big fan of that. As soon as someone comes on stage, and you were really good at that, you applaud as loud as you can. That's the one that's for free. Then they do whatever they do, and then you decide, was it okay, good, or amazing? So far, so good? Oh, we'll have to work on the energy. But I understand the coffee needs some time to kick in, but we'll get there, we'll get there. You know, probably most of you have seen a gentleman called Simon Sinek. Who knows who Simon Sinek is? It's a startup conference, and 25% only know who Simon Sinek is. When you go home today, open something called YouTube, that's the thing, enter Simon Sinek, and it's the most viewed TED Talk ever, and he says, start with why. And he says it's fundamental to always start with the why. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to connect some of the best startups of the region, some of the best startups of the world. That's what we're going to do the next days. We'll empower. We have more than 1,000 participants. This is the leading conference in the entire region. The same way, it's also the gateway. It's the gateway to networking, to meeting investors, corporates, startups, you name it. And of course, we want to enable whatever network and collaboration goes on there. We've also selected 160 startups from 33 countries. You're not easily impressed, are you? That's usually where people are like, woo, or something like that. We've selected 160 startups from 33 countries. Now, yeah, finally. Good. And of course, can you just raise your hand who've used a startup? Okay. Corporate? Investor? Confused? Okay, that's fantastic. Who've used downloaded the PODIM app, by the way? We'll work on that later on. And that's about 54%. That's quite good. However, you've seen I have a tendency to ramble. That's the half Irish part of me, the half German part of me saying, no, we have to stick to the plan. Let's put some structure to what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'd like to do, because there's someone who's way more qualified than myself for the opening words. And probably some of you, who's here for the first time, by the way? Who's been here at least once? Okay, so there's a lot of first-timers. That's quite good. The city of Maribor, the municipality, have been a great supporter for the PODIM conference for several years. Now, last year, a new mayor was elected, and he's a very successful entrepreneur himself. So we think it's very, very fitting to have him on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's please welcome on stage Mr. Sasha Asenowicz. Welcome on stage, Mayor. Hello, Mayor.
Do you hear me? Yeah. Daniel, thank you for this nice introduction. So, dear guests and participants, welcome to the beautiful city of Maribor. Congratulations to organizers who managed to attract more than 1,000 participants this year. The municipality of Maribor has been one of the key supporters of the PODIM conference for some years, but it's the first time that I'm here. We are very satisfied that this important event takes place in Maribor and ensures a meeting of the entire startup ecosystem of Slovenia and the Adriatic region. One of the main goals of the municipality of Maribor is the next year in the next year is to attract foreign investors as well as dynamic and innovative young companies that can help Maribor become a propulsive city. The program Startup Maribor has also been showing good results. Through the program, we started actively connecting young, innovative startup companies with large, well-established companies such as Sava Insurance and the bank Nova KBM. Some companies based in Maribor, like the Slovenian Post, also have their own startup incubators. Our geostrategic position, industrial tradition, high level of workforce are also good reasons to attract new investors. Our main focus in the next year will be one of sustainable mobility, creating new businesses, areas, revitalization of different parts of the city, circular change, and much more. I'm not the first mayor to have the welcome speech at the PODIM conference, but I'm the only one with experience in entrepreneurship and running own businesses. Thank you. When I founded my first company in 1988, according to today's definitions, it could be classified as a startup. However, the business environment at that time was significantly different from today. There was hardly any possibility of crowdfunding, no business angels, no startup incubators. I just had to rely on two Fs, the founder and the family. I had a good idea, many of them, a lot of courage and enough resources to start the company. Eventually, I succeeded to introduce the trademark S. Oliver in Slovenia with my brother to establish a network and build the brand, which was successful not only in Slovenia, but also in the Adriatic region. The trademark was later sold and money invested in new entrepreneurial challenges, mostly of them in my city, Maribor. My path to establishing a successful company was not easy. I failed many times. A lot of you will fail too, maybe once, maybe twice, I hope no more, or even 10 times. But failures are part of your professional and personal growth. It is not about how many times you fail, but what you learn out of your failures. Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose. Either I win or I learn." And this is also my motto. But there is one failure that I would never forgive myself, to fail as the mayor of Maribor. This is the reason why I will do everything that is in my power to take Maribor attractive for talented young people who will stay here, come to live here, and start their own families and businesses. And it's true. Besides an encouraging startup environment, I can also give you 4 reasons why choose Maribor over some other city to live and to work here. The first one is safety. Maribor is one of the safest cities at any time of the day and night, a privilege not a lot of the cities have. The second one is the location. Maribor has a perfect logistic connections with the region, 5 airports around us and our own, so I hope it will work better in next years. The landscape is wonderful and green, Pohori Hill, Drava River, nice people, and there are a lot of sports and culture possibilities. The third one is local food and local wine. We are privileged to buy and eat locally grown food. Maribor is also known for delicious cuisine and good wine. In Maribor, you will also find the oldest wine in the world. Last but not least, time. And that's very important. Yes, Maribor is special and can give you time. Time you would waste in your car waiting in traffic jams or driving hours to work. Since Maribor is a small and each location is easily accessible, you can use this time for realizing your dreams, ideas, being innovative, or just spend it with your family or friends. This is a very important factor since, as you know, entrepreneurs always lack time. And we are talking in Maribor for about 2, 3, 4 hours more that you have for your life. Maribor has a lot of ambitious plans for the future to create a friendly environment for young families and startups by establishing an international school, becoming a city of innovative individuals, and connecting different stakeholders to create new business opportunities. What we already are is a city with a high standard of living. I'm glad that you are attending this interesting conference in such a great number. I'm sure that it will broaden your horizons. I wish you a nice stay in Maribor, and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Now, I also understand, we just talked about this is about cross-border connection. I also understand there's a lot of Austrians here. Would you maybe like to welcome them in German?
I try to.
Please, go, give it a shot.
Liebe Gäste aus Österreich, willkommen in Maribor. Ich hoffe, ihr habt eine gute Zeit hier.
Well, just to be fair for the non-Austrians and non-Germans, well, basically say, well, hello and have an amazing time here. Nun, das ist ja gar nicht schlecht, dass Sie auch Deutsch können. Ich habe noch eine Frage auf Deutsch. It's very multicultural. Ich bin ein bisschen verwirrt. You're also not just a successful, jetzt bin ich schon wieder verwirrt. Sie sind nicht nur ein erfolgreicher Unternehmer, sondern Sie sind ja auch ein recht erfolgreicher Sportsmensch, sozusagen Sportler.
Ja, das ist ein Teil meines Lebens, ja.
Tennis ist es ja auch, oder?
Ja, nicht nur, also früher war das Professional Tennis und jetzt gibt es einiges, was ich tue, also Basketball, Kickboxen, Fahrradfahren, aber seit ich in der Politik bin, ist davon etwas weniger, das sieht man ein bisschen an den Kilos, aber ja. Ich bewege mich immer noch. Ja.
Und gibt es da so Parallelen für Sie zwischen Unternehmertum und Sport, die man ziehen kann?
Ja, es gibt eine ganz wichtige Parallele und das ist auch verbunden mit dem, was ich vorher ein bisschen anders gesagt habe. In Sport lernt man zu verlieren. Und das lernt man eigentlich jeden Tag oder bei jedem Training möchte man eigentlich besser sein, als man ist. Und wenn man das gelernt hat, dass die Niederlagen Teil von der Entwicklung und vom Leben sind, dann ist man auf dem richtigen Weg. Also don't give up. Nehmen Sie alle Niederlagen als ein Teil von dem Weg zum Ziel und dann hat sich's.
Stark. Vielen Dank. Der Bürgermeister. Vielen, vielen Dank. Dankeschön. And just to translate this, I asked him on the parallels between sports and entrepreneurship. He had very choice words. It said, as a sportsman, as a sportsperson, you learn what it means to lose. And it is a fundamental part of progressing is accepting that some days don't work out. It's all about the big picture and moving on. So that was very good. Those were choice words. Now, and sorry about getting confused in my languages, but it happens. It's actually quite confusing in my life. I'm half Irish, half German. I'm marrying a beautiful girl from Colombia this year. Together we have an American Cocker Spaniel who was born in Bratislava, went to school in Portugal, and I live in Vienna. So there's sometimes days where I don't actually quite know what's the fitting language. So that'll happen, but bear with me as you did. Which is a great way to buy time, by the way, which I just did, because we believe in the innovative potential of this region. And for this, we'd like to get some supporters of the various regions that are present here. And I'll just kind of name them and they'll walk on stage because if I introduce every one of them, we'll be here until tomorrow because there's so many leading heads here. So, and I'd like to have a supporting applause for that. Supporting applause is not very loud, but a bit. Can you try a supporting applause? That's too much. Less. Okay, less. Yeah, that's good, good, good. Bit more, bit more. No, that's kind of like that. And as soon as they all seated, loud applause. We'll work on that. So, however, I would like to introduce on stage, that's where you start with a supporting applause. Christina Todt, Maja Tomanic-Vidovic, Marco Trombetti, Tanja Sternbauer, Julien Kosturi, and Zerny Dvorak. Welcome on stage. Hello. Oh, hi. Please grab a seat. Hello. Hello. Grab a seat. Continue. Hello. 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 Servus. And take a seat. And lovely. That's going to be fun today. That worked like a charm. Thank you so much. So, we've got all different regions. That's fantastic. We'll start where are you? Marco Trombetti of Italia. right? Over there, biggest grin, that's probably you. Fantastic. Good to have you. Now, Marco, as an entrepreneur, investor, and co-founder of Pi Campus, you have an excellent overview of what's coming and happening in Europe and global startup industry. What are the elements, in your opinion, in which Europe can build its competitive advantage and compare to other ecosystems? An easy question to start off with.
Well, first, hello, everyone. It's a big pleasure being here today. So, Europe is today an exciting place to do innovation, and many people will ask me now to compare this across Silicon Valley. And as Pi Campus, we have 43 investments, and half of them are in the US, Silicon Valley, and the other half are here in Europe. So we kind of are in a privileged position to make comparisons. And what I noticed is that if you want to create a great company, you need to be in a place where you can deeply understand the problem. You need to be able to access early adopters, people that are willing to buy the solution you're building, and you need to be able to hire incredible talent. And when you think about these three things, now you start thinking about tech companies, and Silicon Valley is, again, it's the only place where you can do it. But I can provide you a very simple example where this is not true. It can inspire you to do similar things. So a few years ago, I think last year, a company named Yux in Italy sold for 5.3 billion. Without no one noticing it, Yux created by far the biggest fashion e-commerce in the world. And the reason why they were able to build that in Italy, it was simple. They had access to producers of fashion for which they can talk to every day, they can understand their problem. They have a lot of people in Italy that are willing to spend in fashion more than anyone in California. That's kind of obvious. So that's our definition of early adopter. People that are actually spending more and taking an innovation before, and they were able to hire a lot of talent in fashion. And these three things, they had the opportunity to do this better than any other place on earth. So in 10 years, Yux became the leader, the biggest company, and sold for 5.3 billion, and the US not even realized what was happening. So in short, to answer your question, if you want to be successful in Europe, you need just to invest in what makes you unique. Your difference, what you can have as a local market, as understanding of problems, where you have talent. Try to look at these things. Never try to replicate the models of the other places, because every single countries we're in, every single city has got its own specialty, has got its own ecosystem, and that's our strength. So more you invest in your diversity and uniqueness, higher the chance that you will be very successful. And the good thing, when you invest in what makes you different, does not only create wealth, it also create happiness, and that's a good thing.
Thank you very much. Now, that makes perfect sense, but I'd like to continue now with you, Christina. Now, obviously, for one country, it's easy to focus on the strengths and specialities of the region. However, Christina, you are the president and co-founder of the startup Europe Central and Eastern Europe and Western Balkans Network. That means 13 countries, which is probably not too easy to find a specific focus. What's the common denominator, and maybe also what are some of the challenges and weaknesses of that entire region?
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here for the very first time at PODIM, and it's amazing to see hundreds of change makers from all over Europe. So thank you very much for coming and sharing these 2 days with us. Indeed, it's not an easy question, again. Yes, the network is bringing together 13 countries and 13 ecosystems, and it's very difficult to find one common denominator. But building on what Marco mentioned before is diversity. I think this is one of our strengths. This is one of our value. Even if the countries that we are representing has completely different economical and historical background, and the ecosystems are, from maturity and innovation perspective, are completely different. But still, our power is the diversity, and also our power is the innovation potential of these countries and the region, and also the outstanding talent, which will be indeed our future. But unfortunately, this still remains fully exploited, and this is our mission, the network mission, to bring all these talents into the forefront of the European startup ecosystem and help our startups to grow and scale on the European level.
Thank you very much. I'm loving diversity as common value. That's fantastic. That's great. A lot of people should take that as a common value. I'm liking that a lot. I'd like to continue with you, Maya, and you are of the Slovene Enterprise Fund, and that's the most important institution in Slovenia when it comes to financial support for startups. What is the most important strength for you of that region, and what makes it so attractive for startups?
Yes, welcome from our side too. Slovene Enterprise Fund is located right here in Maribor, so welcome in our town. Yes, there are a lot of benefits we have to use in this part of Europe, which we talk about it. I think it's not good just to copy some other models. We can learn about them, we can adopt something, but of course we have to use some specifics that we have here. First of all, we are a small region, and this is good because we are small. Because of that, we have to fight all the time, and we are perseverers, we are survivors, and this is very good for the business. This is very good for the startups, and I think this is one of important benefit. Then, of course, diversity, what was already mentioned. But what I would like to say that also in this part of Europe, we have a lot of history, we have a lot of arts, a lot of social achievements. And in the future, we will talk more about economy of the society. That means that the future winners on the European market will be companies, will be young startups, young innovative companies, which will give back some impacts, positive effects to the society. So they have to care about the health citizens, the health energy, health environment, health childhood, health aging, because our part of Europe becoming more and more older country or older region. So all these things are benefits, and in this part of Europe, I think that we have all these values. So just use it and compare it with the creativity, and then we can create also very good hub for new startups are coming.
Thank you very much. And I'm really loving the... Yeah, please, sure. And I'm loving how you highlighted like the inborn fighting spirit of the region as well as the historic connection to it. I'm liking that a lot. Now, we're going from one region to the next. Now we're moving to Carinthia. Now, Carinthia back in the day was basically known for, well, tourism. That's basically it. No offense, but that's the way it was a couple of years ago. Nowadays, it's taken a stronger position, and it's a somewhat recognized business location internationally. How did you guys do that?
Lep pozdrav vsem. Actually, Carinthia offers a great mix of competence, business culture, and also funding institutions. And if Slovenia is known to be a great bridge to the Balkans, Carinthia is somehow the best place to expand to German market. Like Marco said, you have to think local before going global. And in Carinthia, Slovenia, Italy, and also Austria meet. And lots of people speak all kinds of languages, and it's just a great place to test the product or the service.
Great. Thank you very much for being here. Now, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, thank you. I was just...
Go for it.
Incubator Build, Austrian business agency, and also Carinthia Economic Fund are here with me today. So we are happy to hear all the crazy ideas.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Babak in Austria. Good. Now we're shifting to the other side of the spectrum again, from right over there to right over here to Tanja Sternbauer. And you're the managing partner of Startup Live and co-founder of the initiative, sorry, it's a bit early, Initiative Female Founders Global and the Female Factor, as far as I know by now. However, you are launching the Slovenian chapter at PODIM today. And a bit of an outside view, what's the challenges and how can they improve?
Well, I mean, also a very warm welcome from my side. It's actually my first time in PODIM, and it's a really great vibe. I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer like things what the country can bring to the table, but from my perspective, it's a really, like we heard already, great gateway to the Eastern countries, next to Austria, actually. Why we wanted to bring the female factor and to Slovenia is because a lot of women approached us here that they want to have a network that is actually encouraging them to do more, right? Either to found a company or to, get up their career stage or anything. And they say, okay, it's a lot of like women entrepreneurs networks here, but what makes us unique is this global approach. And I think this is also something that can really benefit the whole region, because a lot of, like we heard already, a lot of other countries are really doing a great job in empowering women already, fostering diversity. What we heard is really important and will be key to actually surviving for a lot of companies in the next couple of years. And it's not that we always need to reinvent the wheel. So I think the exchange on a global scale with other women, with other opinion leaders, with other ecosystem shapers is the way to go. So this is why we are launching our chapter today here at PODIM. So thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. So, and I have the last question for you, Julian. You are the managing partner of Fil Rouge Capital, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Croatia, and you are launching a new fund. Tell us about that.
Okay, thanks for asking me the question last, so I really have nothing smart to say.
My pleasure.
Yes, we are launching a new fund. It's going to be out of Zagreb, focusing on the region. 42 million. Out of this, it will be 9 million dedicated to a very early stage company, so from 10,000 euro to 50,000 euros. And then a 33 million traditional VC fund looking at, let's say, from 200 up to 2 million investments. We are starting in June. We're finishing all the paperwork. God knows that there is tons of paperwork when you do that. But we are finishing now, and I think, say, mid-June, we'll be ready to write checks. So reach out to us. We've got money to spend and a lot of love to give.
That's the perfect closing words. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you, because now it's time to move on and kick off the conference. First of all, you've seen all the different movers and shakers. First, give it up to our entire panel. Thank you very much. And we've learned the importance of focusing on special regions. We've learned how important it is to embrace diversity. We've also understood how important it is to start small, start local, then go global. As soon as we also understood that there's individual regions that can be gatekeepers to others and open the floodgates to go to different areas, we've understood how important it is to also embrace female entrepreneurship and the focus on that, as well as we also understood that we need money. Because I'd like to introduce one of the people, or one of the people behind this beautiful conference. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome on stage of Startup Slovenia and PODIM. Welcome to stage, Irvin. A bit more than that. Come on, sound alive. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Fantastic. Great.
Done it again, huh?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. I'm super proud of my team and all the partners that managed to put together one amazing event again. If you look at the program, right, we every year when we finish it, the conference, right, we said, okay, we'll just, we'll do just minor improvements, like 2 to 5% next year. And yeah, right, we all know that it is not a minor improvement. So as you can see, this year, we've done 2 major improvements in the program to make you most out of it. First one is the deal room. So in the main hotel lobby area, you have the place for meeting, for booking the meeting. So already more than 700 meetings are already booked. So go to the deal room and book your meetings, otherwise you miss the spot. So we have amazing partners, investors, corporates waiting to meet you and seize this opportunity. And the second one, major improvement, is the PODIM Genesis. That is the 3-hour workshop that will take place in this hall after the main break, where we will connect startups, industry experts, and corporates. So this is the first time we are doing it. It's an experiment also for us. So also we are acting as a startup company. So I'm sure you will love it. Give us the feedback. We want to be better. And now I'm sure you are waiting for the first keynote. So I will shut up and go back to the first row. Thanks. Have an amazing event.
Thank you very much.